This podcast is not affiliated or endorsed by anyone at Zaum Studio or anyone involved in the creation of Disco Elysium. Three Detectives in a Trench Coat contains spoilers for Disco Elysium: The Final Cut. If you have not played the game, proceed with caution.
Disco Elysium is a game about sex, drugs, and disco, and politics, and violence, and drugs, and sometimes those drugs are used by children, and sometimes the violence is aimed at children, and generally is a game for 18s or over. Proceed with caution, as we will be discussing themes within the game.
This episode was recorded on the 8th of June 2023. We present 3 ongoing bits that don't make sense.
The recording, the game will always be deep and mysterious.
The Mr. Wrong.
Oh, that was so loud!
I'm sorry.
Oh, so we've moved on to Captain Scarlet, have we?
Captain Scarlet!
I loved Captain Scarlet as a child. And
So did I loved it.
It's always upset me whenever I've tried going back to it as an adult.
Oh, really?
You tried going back to it?
It's not good.
No.
It's not as good as I remembered, shall we say.
They drive backwards. They drive facing backwards.
Why?
In the universe of this show, it's meant to be safer if the driver is facing backwards.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, but the problem is that because they didn't do the Data and Star Trek thing, where they didn't explain it every episode, so it just looked like they were driving backwards all the time.
Oh, I see. Oh, gosh.
Because in Star Trek: The Next Generation, in every episode with Data in it, at some point somebody will mention that Data is an android.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Because they were like, there's a very good chance that somebody might be watching this, and this might be the first time they're watching, which I really appreciate. I don't think you get that anymore, right? Like,
not as much.
That kind of consistency.
Well, I think there is an expectation, especially of like modern streaming-based watching, where you're more likely you have more control. It's not like you're just turning on the television, the episode's there.
That's true, yeah.
So I think that it's a reasonable expectation of the creator that the experiencer will start at the beginning. We say, as audio drama creators.
Yes.
So this is your first episode tuning in. Welcome to 3 ongoing bits that don't make sense. Three detectives in a trench coat. Three detectives in a trench coat. Oh gosh!
Well, this is fast becoming I say fast becoming. It's slowly becoming.
Fast becoming.
It's slowly becoming a Jerry Anderson fan cast.
I think I've been editing the episodes, and one of them is like from November 2022, which will be hilarious when this episode comes out.
Hey, listeners, remember that joke I made in episode 2? We don't.
It's gonna be even funnier because it's gonna be recorded in November, edited in June, and released in October this year or something.
Yeah, I did think about potentially like having the recording dates in the in the episode description, because the thing is, right, so unfortunately, hi, welcome to 3 Detectives in a Trench Coat, by the way, Dev, Ollie,
Hello.
James. The whole thing between the creators and the studio, that's ongoing. That's still going on. Like, I don't know how long it's been since the People Make Games documentary came out.
Who knows how long it's been since then?
No, as in like on day of recording. I think it was like a week or something.
Fortnight.
Yeah. So it's just like this is an evolving thing that it's like we're talking about in hindsight. Who knows where it'll end up? Who knows what will have happened with it when by the time this comes out?
It's very kind of them to delay coming to a settlement or conclusion and allowing us to finish this podcast.
It's really nice. Like, I'm really glad that they got my letter, and I didn't think it carried an illegal weight, but apparently it does.
Dear Robert Kurvitz. Could you fix it for me?
Oh no!
Oh wait, can't use that anymore.
No,
I invoke my rights as a podcaster.
Dear Robert Kurvitz, would you mind muddying the waters of whether you are a good guy getting screwed over or a dick getting your comeuppance Why do you have to make it so convoluted and grey? Yours sincerely, the wider gaming community.
Let's also acknowledge that we're all big fans of this game, I think. And the creators who made it, whomever that was.
Dear Robert Curtis, do you have any idea how stressful it is to make a podcast? Do you have any idea how difficult it is? Like, you have there's no possible comparison that you can have of anything that you've ever made that can compare to how difficult it is to make a podcast. Game development isn't hard. Come on. You just type it into the computer and it does it for you.
You know, at some point, one of us is going to have to listen to, like, his band, and we're going to have to read his book.
To be fair, so I have actually watched the People Make Games video.
Yes.
And it's really good. I would highly, like if you haven't watched it yet, please go watch it. It's a very good, unbiased, but no, unbiased is probably the wrong word. It's very thorough. And it's very much just like, we're going to interview everybody who is kind of involved in all of this and see and kind of put the questions to them about what the other side has been saying so they can directly answer it. And it does seem a bit like everyone's kind of acting strangely to kind of boil down a very in-depth investigation into a couple of sentences. Very much like Disco Elysium. It seems like both sides are wrong in different ways.
I was going to say, actually, we should watch. I haven't watched the documentary yet. So me and James could watch it as a Patreon exclusive, and then we'll give our opinions on it for money.
So one thing that happened to me recently,
yes,
is I was in Amsterdam for a wedding last weekend, as of recording, and I went to buy a bottle of water, and I was charged a bottle deposit, and that I could get back if I bring the bottle back to the supermarket. And suddenly, I was wandering around wearing my red coat, carrying this bottle, and feeling like I'd crossed to the other side, so to speak. And sadly, I could not get back to the supermarket because I had to catch a flight home. So I now have a 25-euro-cent bottle, and it's standing right next to me because I'm not going to throw it away. Because if I bring it back to a Dutch supermarket, I can get 25 cents for it.
Yeah, they're trying to bring in a similar thing in Scotland right now, I think, but it's kind of being blocked. I've not been paying attention because I know it's very important, but it's also very boring. You know,
I will say, as somebody who used to be a student in Oslo, where they also have a scheme, it was very useful for I need a bit of extra money here, and I have these bottles. So bring them somewhere. Or, like hosting a party at your home was great because then everyone would leave the bottles behind. And so everyone would leave you like a gift of about, one beer's worth of bottles. And it was great.
That's really cool.
He's just going around clearing up after a party going, la la da, da 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 da.
It's just sort of like picking up water going, bring, bring, bring.
I have to. There was one thing I wanted to bring up because my week this week has been editing editing episodes of this podcast.
Yeah, to us they're old. To the listener,
they're brand new and shiny. But yes. So one of the things that we failed to bring up on our episode 3 adventure to High Wycombe was the pair of shoes, because I was waiting for us to talk about the pair of shoes, and none of us talked about this pair of shoes that we saw outside the back of W.H. Smith's.
Yeah, James almost grabbed them.
So we were in a heavy disco mindset at the time.
Well, because we just saw a pair of shoes and we thought, well, what if that is that got better? Is that what asset does
what
this
does that
bring
do for my
to me?
esprit de corps?
Exactly.
Do I get electrochemistry if I wear those old boots? It was a full pair of shoes.
Yeah,
it was a full pair of boots kicking around outside the back of Smith's, and it was just.
Yeah, because that was really the thing. We had to go down an alleyway, like a slightly dilapidated alleyway, to get to the theatre that we were in. It's very strange.
Lovely town, High Wycombe. But
Yeah.
It is
odd.
a lovely town. Well, I mean, it's not that odd. There was an alleyway. There was a pair of shoes in the alley. That's not. It's like otherworldly, shall we say?
Otherworldly.
One thing I will kind of poke you guys on is that yes, I was the one who said I did see these pair of shoes, but you two both jumped on board and me is like, yes, I had the same thought.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
true.
There's no denying that. I remember when I was a kid and I played too much Red Dead Redemption, and I would look at the sky and I would see a bird, and in my head I would just go, you know. I've been wondering. I've been playing too much Grand Theft Auto while, walking along a street and gone, I wonder if this car's open, and gone, oh shit, yes it is. Let's close that door.
I don't know if either of you have played Tony Hawk's Underground 2 specifically.
Yes.
But so like one of the cities in it is Barcelona. And I was in Barcelona and we went to, I think it was the aquarium, and we kind of came outside and I sort of took 2 steps forward and I was just like this was like 5 to 10 years later. Because this was when I was at university. I just looked around and like the people I was with were like, what's wrong? You okay? And I'm like, okay, this is going to sound weird, but this entire part of the city is in Tony Hawk's Underground 2 for the PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
and so I was just like, yeah, there's like an objective where you have to go across that bridge without touching the ground. I was just like pointing out, being like, oh yeah, you go over here and you do this objective, then you can do this trick over here. And they'd walked off by this point, and I was just stuck on my own in Barcelona talking about Tony Hawk's Underground 2. But yeah, like I love that when you're so deep in a game that like the real world starts changing around you. I'm getting that with Breath of the Wild right now, which is good fun.
Oh no!
But while we're talking about how hard it is to make a video game, like the files for Disco Elysium, absolute mess. Like
Yes.
To find,
I can imagine.
So basically, like you have shared asset resources files, right? And each one has maybe about 800 to 1,000 different files, and they can be anything from audio clips to animations to images to character models. They can be anything. And there's like 100 of these in the Disco Elysium data files, right? You'd think they'd put all the audio files in one place. No. No. I went to unbundle
These
all of
guys,
these things.
no.
Like, oh my goodness. Like I learned a bit about game development, which is nice.
I wonder if it's done by patch or something, right? Like, oh, here's the updated files.
Maybe I think it's done by like linear. I think it's done linear in terms of like where it appears in the game. Just looking at where the file. This is fascinating.
Oh, really?
Fascinating conversation. But like it's sort of like the 0 assets file was just the kind of main menu sounds, whereas that's my cat, by the way. I don't know if you heard that.
Oh, hello.
But shared assets 1 was like the sort of more of the UI. Shared assets 1 and 2 had more of the sort of UI sounds and things. So I don't know if it's maybe like it's based on when
It's
things
made
appear in the game.
linearly.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know enough about game development to comment on that. But basically, game files are a mess. But then again, I suppose they don't need to be clean. You know, they don't need to be tidy.
I mean, I imagine it's hell for whoever had to edit it. Well, every story about it is like, Kurvitz was this like warrior monk, or just this sort of drunken monk who was just like, I am the totality of this game. It's horrifying, but very interesting. Mm-hmm. And I've just found A Sacred and Terrible Air, his book, which is set in the universe of Disco Elysium.
You found the book. I
found the fan translation.
Because I was going to say I was under the impression like you couldn't get it
only available
anymore.
in Estonian unless you get a fan translation.
Ooh, okay. Ooh, you've put it in the thing as well. Oh,
yeah.
I'm opening
how
it.
many pages? Oh, 200. Okay, that's actually not so
It's
bad.
like 11 chapters, I think.
Okay, that's not so bad. 276 pages. That's fine. Okay.
Okay. Oh, I see. The translations of names. How interesting.
We are here once again to play Disco Elysium, to disappear back into the world of Disco Elysium. We are on day 3. We're on Wednesday.
Yep.
I can't remember where you guys are at, but for me, things are starting to get interesting. Like in the last episode, I proved my authority to Titus Hardy, which was a big thing. Like I've been trying to do that for ages.
Yes.
Which has kind of opened things up a bit, and I think I'm about to get some more plot, which I'm very excited about. So where are the two of you at? Where are you at in the story and your cases and your lives as Harry Dubois?
I think my Harry is ready for a bit of a vacay. He's just gonna bounce around the mainland for a while, the island for a while, you know, check out the lights and the sights and the local people, and you know, maybe solve some mysteries if they turn up, but ultimately just kind of chill. I think I'm sort of the frenetic, frantic nature of the first kind of couple of days where you're just sort of running around and doing the Jamrock shuffle. They kind of wash away a bit with the tide, I think, as you kind of get into the later game.
Yeah,
you get more time to just sort of trudge around and look at the sea and think about death, you know. Good old-fashioned Soviet things.
How about you, James? Where are you at? Where are you heading?
So do you remember in the first episodes, I was wandering around with one shoe because I couldn't figure out how to open the door.
Yes.
Yes.
There are different points in this game where I'm not sure whether I've just not figured out how to open a door or whether, like, at some point I'm going to discover this thing. Like, there is definitely an underground area which you can get into, I think. Actually, I have no idea if there's definitely but I think there's an underground because I can either hear or smell something while passing it, and then I'm trying different doors and I can't go through them. Like, there's a door in the back of the cafe and there's a window to look through and some church doors that should be easy to get through, and like there's all these places that I've got checks to do and places to explore, and I'm looking forward to exploring some of them and maybe
James,
finding them, or maybe just passing, maybe letting them sit on my to-do list.
I think I can help you out in one fell swoop here. Have you been to the police car?
Multiple times. Wait,
you
mean ever in this game?
In this game?
Yes.
Any dealings you have with the police outside of this game are your own business. But
We're legally not allowed to talk about them on the podcast.
I thought you meant like since X amount of time has passed or something. But yeah,
no. Like, do you have some tools?
Yeah, some tools in there that I have picked up and have been carrying.
You
around.
have picked up the tools. Okay.
Yes.
Use the tools.
No, I know.
Type into the command bar, use tool on door.
What is that? Is that what's that game? What's that called? Is that something Quest that has the
King's Quest, I think, isn't it?
King's Quest. King's Quest, I think, was that.
Yes.
Oh god.
Like that's yeah. I mean, I am surprised I am the one who picked up on that. Or maybe I'm not surprised that I'm the only one.
I'm not a dweeb.
Who felt the need to say it out loud because everyone already knew it, and it's like
I'm a nerd in a gig, but I'm not a dweeb.
Yes, James. That bit
I don't know about King's Quest. I know about kissing boys.
I didn't. Here's the thing. I don't know it from the game. I know it from the opening scene to the film Big.
I don't know if that makes it better or worse.
Sorry, that took a second to land.
That's the opening. That's the game he's playing at the beginning of the film Big. Tom Hanks or pre-Tom Hanks. It's like you know.
Pre-Tom Hanks.
I think that is. Yes, I think that's the film I'm thinking of.
I can't think of it as anything other than tanks now.
Okay, so
you're welcome.
Okay, so
this is gonna be a fucking minefield to edit.
It's fine. I'm doing editorial on this one. We're all fine. We're all good.
All right, okay.
I'm gonna make it sleek and sexy.
Nice. They failed.
I'm gonna try to at least. So I've had a bit of an epiphany, or at the very least, I've kind of had a bit of a thought with how I'm playing this game and how I want to change that. So I think I can sort of safely say this applies to James as well. But when we started playing the game for this podcast, I feel like our choices were more adventurous because we didn't know the game. We didn't know what we were doing. We didn't know, like, you know, we thought, well, let's go for the crazy options and see what happens. And I feel like, I mean, for me personally, I feel like I'm not doing that anymore. And I think the thought that came to me was that this is a broken world, and Harry is this broken character. So I think I should start making some broken choices, basically. Just being a bit more adventurous and being a bit more brave and being a bit more like, fuck it, burn it all down kind of thing, and seeing where that goes. Because I'm assuming at some point this game is going to ask you to take a side. And I think at a certain point it became right, I need to start gathering information and not really thinking about the information, not really processing the information. So I'm very much just like, right, I have goals this time around. I have things I need to do, but also I'm like, I want to be more brave with my choices. I want to be kind of more, I want to make more interesting choices, more bold decisions. And bold choices, I think, is what it's called in improv, which is when, if you're going to fail hard, So that's the ideology I'm going into this episode with.
Or as they say in the campaign podcast. I don't know if you guys ever listened to the campaign podcast, the Star Wars actual play done by the One Shot Network.
No.
Make brave and heroic decisions.
I don't know if they're going to be that. They'll probably be wild and unwise decisions, but
wild and unwise decisions.
Yeah, I was very good this episode. I wrote down what I wanted to do. I wrote down my goals because I'm listening back to the earlier episodes. I'm like, I need to do that next time, and then I just forget about it. So I'm writing them down now. My big goal is to find Idiot Doom Spiral.
Yes.
I have not spoken to Idiot Doom Spiral yet, and they sound fascinating. I really want to meet them.
Well, the reason I love them is because every time Robert Kurwitz posted on the Zalm site, he would post under the pseudonym of Idiot Doom Spiral.
Interesting.
Yes. Dev is going to go find Idiot Doom Spiral.
Yeah.
James is going to...
Yep. Oh, what am I going to do, Ollie? Did
I don't know.
So I'm going to. So I want to open some church doors, or any doors, and I want to wash a jacket.
Amazing.
Good.
Dev is going to find Idiot Doom Spiral.
Yeah.
James is going to do some washing and open a door.
Yeah.
I'm going to enjoy the seaside.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. FAB detectives.
Good luck, detectives.
Good luck, detectives.
Good luck, detectives.
Spectrum is
FAB.
green.
Spectrum is green. The Mr. Wrongs have arrived.
Oh, it's a full circle. We did.
Hello, it's Ollie, your friendly neighborhood shill, coming here to shill the products that we be selling. We don't be selling products, we just be selling experiences, you know what I mean? Like intangible, delicious experiences, by which I mean behind the scenes content, behind a paywall, which is at patreon.com. Look, we know you hate ads, but this is the one ad we do and it helps keep the lights on, so if you fancy keeping the lights on and helping us make more of these, then hell yeah, that's like a civic duty, or a building communism, or just doing that good ultra-liberal shuffle. So yeah, 3 detectives in a trench coat, or patreon.com/3 detectives in a trench coat, or linktree/3 detectives if you want to just find everything. Time for some more prattle and chattle and talking and things.
So, the reason why I was in the Discord going, right, are we finishing? Are we sure? Are we sure? Is that I was very much just like, a lot of plot happened in this playthrough for me. A lot of plot, and a lot of it I probably can't talk about. Basically, but a lot of plot happened during my playthrough.
Nice.
Okay, James, how much plot happened in your playthrough?
A little. Nice side plots. Really nice side plots that I've been looking forward to. Now, so a couple of cool things related to the main quests happened. I'm just going to say it. I found some armor. Very cool. But really, most excited by finding Morel.
You found Morel?
I found Morel. Morel is findable. So yeah, okay. It's just nice. I was so worried.
My goodness!
You found the cryptozoologist.
I found the cryptozoologist.
Oh, that's so cool! Oh my goodness.
So I mean, I don't. For future reference, is something like that a spoiler? Or is that just kind of fine?
No, that's cool.
I was kind of talking to Dev, who's not played this before.
Heavy game. It's all good.
It was more of a question for Dev, to be honest, Ollie, the person who hasn't played this game before.
I mean, it's a side quest, so I'm okay to talk about it.
Yeah,
as long as you don't if you don't tell me like how to do it. Just like
I didn't tell you how to do it. Just that that happened. That was really sweet, and there were some really sweet things that happened for me this time. I think I might have gained a morale point by touching a lamb touching a little pet.
There's
lamb,
a lamb.
Soft teddy bear in the shape of a lamb.
There's a teddy bear lamb. Oh my word!
I am for how the other half lived. I lost 4 morale points and 1 hit point.
Oh my god, what happened?
This session. I called a number I shouldn't have.
Oh,
that's so interesting. Did you find the payphone?
Oh yeah.
You just kept calling it or something?
I made like 4 calls, and then it was like, hey, do you want to make the miserable call? And I was like,
okay.
Yes, I want to make the miserable call. And I managed to dial the right number, and I tried to hang up, and my volition, I failed a volition check.
Oh my god.
That was
no.
You can't hang up. There's just something gluing your fucking ear to the phone. And so then I just went through and just had the whole miserable experience.
That's so interesting.
As you do.
I came across the same payphone in this session, and I made 3 calls. I was like, there's no point to this, I'm just losing real. So I stopped.
Keep making calls.
Okay.
You may make a call that uncovers Hattie's past.
Oh my god.
I've got to go back there. Okay, I've got to make a note for next time.
I haven't found I had so much I wanted to do.
You still haven't explored the island yet, have you, Dev?
As in across the canal?
Across the canal, yeah.
No, I have explored it. I haven't explored it properly. I still haven't met Idiot Doom Spiral. I haven't found Morel. I haven't found the payphone there. It was on my to-do list today, but I just got sucked into the plot here. So I was basically just at the Whirling in Rags, basically.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I guess you have a lot to do there. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it was mostly like talking to one person, then going to talking to another person, like confirming stories and things. Ollie, I think you mentioned this in an earlier episode, is the pawn shop owner.
Yes.
And the story behind the pawn shop owner. About the People's Pile, which was like some communists tried to build a reactor,
a
nuclear reactor.
Spare parts.
Yeah, that was a fantastic bit.
That's funny.
And there's a wonderful line, and it's you ask whose fault was it that the generator basically, and he just goes, no one's, everyone's, which I thought was just fantastic. Absolutely fantastic bit of writing.
No one's, everyone's.
Yeah, like there was a lot of really good voice acting in my playthrough today.
Yeah,
that's fun.
Pawn Shop Owner's voice actor, amazing. Clasier's voice actor, also amazing. Like the conversation with Clasier is just incredible writing, and it's just incredibly beautiful. Like the wonderful line of, "I love Revachol, I hope she loves me."
Oh,
it's just I felt that in my entire body. And there was also the interesting line, "I don't think the Union is communist. I think they're a good few shades pinker than that." I thought, ooh, that's interesting. Yeah. Oh,
there's an interesting if you have high drama, it's basically the equivalent of a lie detector. What's quite interesting about chatting to Everard, Claire, is that even though he's not, and this is just on the subject of they're a few shades pinker, Everard believes his own hype.
Yeah, I don't doubt that.
even though he's a bit of a shyster, like he does believe what he's peddling, and he doesn't see his own hypocrisy.
Yeah,
and I think it's a kind of, and I think you have to sort of have that sort of level of delusion if you're going to, run something as big as a Union like that.
Yeah. It was interesting. And I'm curious to go back to it because the two signatures thing, I kind of spoiled my ballot to a certain extent. I got one signature and then sort of scribbled over the other one to kind of invalidate it. So I'm curious to see how Everart deals with that. Basically, I had one of those playthroughs where I sort of stopped taking notes because I was just enjoying the game so much.
Yeah.
So I don't really have... I think I've got a couple of... Like, there was a couple of things that happened, but mostly it was just me playing the game. I did come perilously close to taking drugs, though.
Ooh.
So
Which
basically,
ones?
It was when you go into Clasier's bathroom, there is a cabinet full of pills and things, and there's an electrochemistry check to kind of look a bit more into what's in the bottles. And I gained a skill point, so I did my sort of reactive skill point approach again, which I keep trying to not do because there are so many thoughts I want to internalize. But I was like, okay, I'll put something into electrochemistry. That was a bad idea.
Yeah. Welcome to the drugs.
Yeah. It's time to inject your bombs and smoke your syringes. 'Cause the three detectives are doing drugs.
Because now so basically the electrochemistry is like drugs.
Yeah.
So basically like, it was just like, steal the drugs.
You
steal
turn
the
into an
drugs.
Ian Drury song the minute you like up your electrochemistry too far. Like you get it up to beyond 6, and then all the time it's just sex and drugs and rock and roll.
Just one like I had 0 in electrochemistry. In fact, I had -1 in electrochemistry because of my inexplicable feminist agenda. But because you get -1 on electrochemistry because it says probably have to be sober to get there.
Yeah.
But yes, I put one in, and so that brought my electrochemistry up to 0, and my body's like, take drugs, take all the drugs together right now.
Yeah.
But that brought up an interesting thing, actually. Sorry, I know I've kind of commented the conversation
No,
again.
take the stage.
So
I've got questions for James in a bit.
it talks about this drug called Preptide.
Peptide, yes.
Yes, and it's sort of described as trucker speed.
Yeah.
Which I thought was really interesting because there is a graphic novel called Ducks, 2 Years in the Oil Sands by Kate Beaton, who also writes Hark a Vagrant.
Oh, yes.
And
We're old money. Anyway, yes.
Yeah.
Old as balls.
But basically, so because the unfortunate news came through that the Nib is closing down, I decided I would buy a load of stuff from their shop because I think the Nib is fantastic, and I'm really sad that it's closing down. And one of them was Ducks, 2 years in the Alberta oil sands. So basically, the plot of it is that it's about Kate Beaton and the 2 years that she spent working in the oil fields in Alberta in Canada, kind of moving from 2 or 3 different companies, and it's a graphic novel about her time there. And one of the things that they talk about is that the people who work in these places in these oil sands are on speed all the time because it doesn't show up in drug tests. And I thought it was just this interesting little kind of detail of you have these people who are just driving trucks all across the world all the time, in these kind of very, very
Highest kites.
These very, 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 very difficult jobs that have very bad health effects, but you have to be awake a lot. I just thought it was just an interesting link in my brain that I kind of wanted to mention. And I think it's interesting that this game has picked up on that detail and has this idea of a drug that has been specifically designed for these truckers. I thought that was an interesting detail to find in a game like this.
So one thought before I start interrogating James. Back when I was a drug user, well, I wasn't a particularly exciting drug user. I was just a pothead. But back when I sort of was a drug user, I had this theory about how the world works, and like every stoner, I thought the world would be much better if everyone smoked weed. But the reason I thought this isn't just because, weed chills you out and makes you go, it is what it is, and like makes you love the world and love whatever. But it's just that so much of the world is run on amphetamines. Like, Westminster is run on cocaine.
Yeah.
And, the truckers are run on speed, and, everyone else is running on caffeine, like the world is so much run by this, like, quick, come on. No one has the time to chill out on a bench and watch the world go by and just sort of exist. And I think we make decisions very differently if we spent more time chilling out on benches, just sort of waiting for the world to sort of catch up with us, rather than this sort of, mad amphetamine-driven world that we sort of currently live in. I think that's why everyone's so freaked out about AI, is because they're like slightly worried that the robots will be on cocaine as well.
Oh,
that's just my little electrochemistry thought.
I'd like no, I think that's very pertinent, and I agree with you. It's something that it's not drug related, but I think, as someone who went into, we're all in the creative arts, as it were, but like, my way in was filmmaking. And the filmmaking thing was like, you had to be making stuff all the time. You had to be burning the candle at both ends all the time. Very much that kind of rise and grind set kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it burned me the hell out. And it got to the point where I had been on a film set, and then I did 2 very late shifts at my bar job. And about midway through the bar job, I thought I was having a heart attack. Turns out I was just having a panic attack, which is, it's a bit of a downgrade.
Well, that tells you something about panic attacks.
Like, it was still bad, but it was a downgrade. It was a downgrade from heart attack. Yeah. So
I'm not dying. I just think I'm going to die.
Yeah. It was just this moment of, I'm very aware of my heartbeat right now. After that was the point where I sort of went, right, I need to slow the hell down. And while I think I'm not I still fall into the trap sometimes. I do think that, like, there is something to be gained from slowing down and not worrying about running out of time, because, we're here, we're here forever as far as we're concerned, So, yeah, I absolutely. What you say makes sense. I think is a very long-winded. Is the short version of what I'm trying to say.
Saying, "Calm down, chill out,
just chill out,
drink some green tea." That's not a euphemism.
Listen to a podcast. Yes.
Listen to a podcast.
This podcast specifically.
This podcast. More of this podcast, and subscribe to the Patreon, and follow us on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and WhatsApp and wherever else we are. James, I finally have some questions for you. Oh no, where have you gone?
Oh no, did we lose James?
So James.
Thank you. Hello, yes.
I noticed you were quiet during our discussion of narcotics, and that makes sense.
I will confess to doing coffee.
The jumping bean.
Yeah, a very enjoyable drug that I choose to participate in regularly. I did it twice today.
I do.
James, you can't say that on the podcast.
We did go to. James and I went to a club the other night.
We did,
and I feel very bad because his suit came home smelling of smoke, and it's partially my fault.
I mean, I know what you said. I took you to my club, so
yeah, but I didn't have to ash on your trousers. So that's.
I didn't have to stub the cigarette out on your face.
I didn't have to stub it on your lapel.
All over my trousers, did you, Ollie? Okay.
That does sound like a euphemism now that I think about it.
Yeah. Thanks for
and
that.
a rather rude one at that. Anyway, James, so the Titus Hardy.
Yes.
The Hardy Boys.
Sure.
And Classier the Disco Dancer.
Yes.
Have you just kind of left them to their own devices for the most part?
Well, I've clicked on every possible dialogue option with Titus except for like grilling him or something, because I've got like a 9% check or something like that. So I was like, well, I'm not going to try and prove my authority uselessly. I'm sure I'll come. I'm sure I'll come across something that will mean that this check becomes easier. Because and I looked at. I think one of the hints of that was that I tried to look through the window behind them, and I get the message, "It's not time yet." So I'm like, okay, I am clearly not ready. My character's not ready for this area of the game. I'll come back. And one of the things I did whilst going away and then came back at some after I first made that decision was I solved slightly more of the case and was able to determine that actually you've both been there. That look at the number of footprints. I can now tell I can go back. So I went back and did it again. And yeah, so I'm waiting for that to become easy. And I think what I did this game was explored only the western side of the map.
Yeah.
And it was really cool. I found some really cool things. And I was trying to look for the hospital at one point, but I couldn't find it. I think I found it, and it's going to be something I explore next time. I think I did quite a lot of that. And I think that there was some progress made there in terms of I washed the jacket.
Nice. Same.
Yep. So that was cool. And I now have a jacket.
You try and give it to him, and he's like, "Fuck off! I don't want it."
Wait,
Well,
so
it's-
what's this?
Well, no, we can't tell you.
Oh, okay, fair enough. All right, ignore me.
Go find Idiot Doom Spiral.
Okay, yes, sorry.
Damn it.
Okay, right, yeah.
Okay,
I'll
fine.
go- I'll
It's
go-
in Doom Spiral then. Fine.
Right, okay, that's
Fine.
that. Yeah,
That's that whole plot given to you. Enjoy.
No.
it.
No. That's
just
fine.
need to wash a
That's-
jacket. That's fine. It's not a plot.
Yeah. All right. Yes.
That's some Monkey Island bullshit, right?
It is, to be fair.
Wash a jacket. Eat a coconut.
I also internalized. This is why I tried to keep the game open, because I will now have to find it online or something. But I'm only spending my points on thoughts, internalizing thoughts,
Nice.
which is an interesting way of playing the game, because I at this point have -1 suggestion.
Nice. You're the least suggestive player. You cannot compel people to do anything.
I had a really fun-sounding thought today, which I'm just trying to find the name of. The Wompty Dumpty Dom Centre.
What?
The what center?
The Wompty Dumpty Dom Centre. I found something called the Wompty Dumpty Dom Centre. So it's like Humpty Dumpty, but instead it's Wompty Dumpty, and then it's
Okay.
Dom, the Wompty Dumpty Dom Centre. It was very short, but it's like, and I thought it was fun because I was like,
no, wait, hold on, just any context at all, because I have never encountered this thought.
oh really? Cool. There's a building on the far left of the map where you find I'll spoil this about what you find and what you find. But we find a man and a child looking at a building, and you go up to the building, go up to the man, and he gives you kind of the history of this building, and it's a business, and they did business things there, and
I think it's the Fallon building, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay,
I
yes.
think so. It was a manufacturing building. I didn't quite catch the name, but there are Fallon name aware, so like lots of places on the map. It might have been, but yeah. Anyway, but so you talk to him, and then I think I don't remember. And then you ask him details about the history of this building, and he tells you about something called the Wompty Dumpty Dom Centre, and then you get a little thought saying, "Do you want to internalise this thought called the Wompty Dumpty Dom Centre?" I was like, "Ooh, that sounds lovely."
Nice.
Yes, I do, because I just like the name of it mostly. I didn't really understand the problem. It was just something about here's the history of this. Building it's all about like kind of innovation and enterprise. I'm like, ooh, that sounds fun. I'd like to take a look at like figure out this problem. And then
You filthy capitalist.
Well, the really frustrating thing is that when you complete it, you get -2 suggestion, and for being quote a pretentious wanker unquote. which this game does that all the time. It just destroys you as a person. like at one point, because I'm
What's
really
the benefits of learning it?
Oh, the benefit is every time you get encyclopedia passives gives you +10 XP and +2 real,
Oh wow!
which is really cool.
Cha-ching!
But-
You're just a pretentious wanker, though.
Family stuff. I mean, I guess I was going for art cop, so
Yeah, that's closer.
This is classic, yeah. 10 XP and 2 real. I'd do that for an encyclopedia check every time.
Just gotta find the building, don't you?
Dumpty Dumpty Dum.
Yeah, I don't know. What is a
Good lord.
passive?
Passives are...
Is that when like you're talking through somebody and then like a pop-up appears?
Yeah,
or is it
pop-up
when
appears.
you're like, oh, did you? Oh, rhetoric.
It's when you're
master,
chatting to someone and you're one of your... So the way it would work is that you're chatting to someone and your encyclopedic brain goes, hey, quick question. Or, hey, just for context.
Okay, so that's what I've got now, which is cool. It's nice. I like it. But it has taken my suggestion to -1 because it's
Incredible.
yeah, because of the shoes I was wearing as well.
What's that man wearing on his head? What's he got draped around his neck? Where'd he get that awful silly coat from? It's time to do a drip check.
Your shoes aren't suggestible?
Don't mock me. This is the kind of game where if you wear the wrong shoes, it makes you have negative suggestion for some reason. At one point in the game, I'm not sure. I don't think this was prompted by anything, by a conversation. I think it was just like I put the right set of clothes on. Kim takes me aside and says, "I need to talk to you about your sense of style."
Yes, I had that as well.
I have not had that yet.
Did it happen to you after talking to
Idiot Doom Spiral?
Idiot Doom Spiral?
Yes.
Okay, so it does happen at that point. Yeah. So I've got some really I've got a really spiffing outfit on at the moment. I'm really happy with it. And I improved it over the course of the game because I managed to replace the tie as well. That was the other thing that happened in this game.
Nice.
I'm wearing a nice little bow tie now.
I got the bow tie, but I refuse to take my horrific necktie off. I'm just like,
Good.
no, I need it.
Remember to get the blue spirit, Dev. Just that's my other cue for you.
Anyway, apparently Kim doesn't like jacket, shirt, pants, necktie, and smart shoes, and glasses.
You do look pretty fancy.
I was going for that. I was like, I want people to take me seriously. I'm a real cop.
With my bow tie?
Yeah. Well, I mean, because the necktie gives me bad advice, so I'm wearing a bow tie instead.
Bow tie can't give you bad advice.
One thing I am tempted to do, and I didn't quite get around. I didn't do it in this game because I think it's a stupid idea. Is I really want to look in the mirror again now that I have a better understanding of who I am and what. But I feel like it's just going to cost me morale for no reason. So
I did have a fun moment in the room because I went in there to check on something, and then basically, the broken down door, there was a little circle over it, so I clicked on it, and it said, Kim tries not to look at your broken down bathroom door, which I thought was quite fun.
Yeah. Oh god, he doesn't. There's a few things he doesn't want to look at, and I think I just said stoically, like, nod. But yeah. Kim took a look at my clothes, like, this is not what you should be wearing. Something like that. It's just okay, doesn't it? I was trying for professional. Okay. Like it's a very French accent.
You do look fantastic, though. You do look like
it's and you do as well. I mean. Yeah, you look like a lounge singer from the 70s or something. The jacket, the white shirt.
It is
white jacket,
very 70s, isn't it? Yeah. Gloves are an interesting touch, but basically, it gives me good stats.
Yeah, that I am trying to.
I've got +1 conceptualization, +1 inland empire, +1 empathy, +2 interfacing, and +1 composure. And -1 savoir-faire. So I'm like, that's good. That's real good. I'm happy with that. Ollie, have we asked about your playthrough?
No, we haven't asked them.
No.
Yeah. Go ahead, Ollie.
No, you have not. And I'm going to take offence to it right now.
Go ahead.
No, I'm not. What did I do? I kind of had a pretty laid back playthrough actually. I chatted to a girl on the beach. Oh, that was funny. I chatted to this girl on the beach. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I said, do you like to party? She was like, what do you mean? I was like, just get a couple of beers, sit on the fucking sand, drink until we expose vulnerable elements about ourselves. The awful. And she was like, you know what? That actually sounds like a pretty good time. And Kim just goes, yeah, I know it sounds like a pretty good time, but we're cops. And we're not going to do that. I was like, fine. All right. And then I had a proper conversation with her. Gave her my hat. because she looked cold because of all the drugs she was doing. And what else did I do? That was kind of the main thing. And then I decided I was going to go back and crack the case, because I've decided that it is time for at least one of us to be done with this game.
Oh, really? So you just went and cracked the case?
Well, no, I haven't cracked it yet. I failed 2 logic checks, but I need to... I failed all the checks I made this session, by the way.
Oh, that's a shame. I succeeded a 28% electrochemistry check. 28%.
Nice. I'm very good. I failed an even 42%.
Oh, that's a
yeah,
shame.
I passed the 42%, and I was like surprised too. I was like, have I
Well,
gone?
yeah, no, James, it's your luck. That's a feat in and of itself.
I beat the odds. I beat the odds, and I wasn't trying to hit a child.
Yeah, for once.
For once.
That's growth. Positive growth.
If you focus on your thoughts, you grow. You know what? Like, you say that, I genuinely think it's not a very good way of playing the game, but I'm really enjoying it. So
I'm really upset because I really want to have more thoughts. That's just a really silly thing to say, but in the context of the game, I want to have more thoughts. But like, because I've unlocked a load of them, but because I'm not getting skill points very often, I'm not unlocking new slots, which is unfortunate. So I think my next kind of like the next skill point I get, I want to, because there's so many. Like I've got the ones to do with the armor. I've got date of birth generator. I've got a couple of really big ones like Southern Highway. I think it's called. There's just lots of really interesting ones, and I'm just kind of like I want to see these. But I just feel like I'm going to run out of time before I have a proper chance to internalize them.
Well, no, again, you need to get to the island. You need to go hang out in the island for a bit.
I think that's one. Yeah, I think that's kind of the next move.
You've gotten deep into the story, and it's like no, go to the beach.
It's why I was very much just like, are we sure we're done? Are we sure we're done? Because I was just like, I want to keep playing. I'm in this.
Well, I'm getting to the point where it's like I am ready to complete the game. But even if I complete the game, I'll come and hang out afterwards. And no. I'm curious how fast I can complete it. If I can get it done by day 3, I'll be excited. That's where I'm at emotionally. Okay. But I'm happy you guys take your time, because I'm enjoying talking about the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I don't want us to get to the thing where it's like, right, these are our goals, and then James and I'll go
right, and I'm gonna go make a cup of tea.
Go have a bath for 2 hours or something. I don't know, like
have a bath. Yeah.
I mean,
actually, no shame in that.
That does actually sound quite nice.
Sounds like a pretty good. Yeah, I'll have a 2-hour bath. I light a candle.
Dev, have you got the inner thought jamais vu derealization?
I've internalized that one. Yeah. You
have internalized that, because that one helps with getting more XP. Just in terms of metagaming.
Yes, yeah, no, I've got that one. Like I got a lot of XP in this one just because I was making good decisions. I did good detective work to the point where my pain threshold gave me a health point back, because it's like, good on you, have a point, go for it, yeah.
Lovely.
So that was very fun.
Just some context. Looking at my achievements in the game. So today the only achievement I got was I apologized for the 10th time, so I got literally the sorriest cop on earth achievement, which I love, which is pretty cool considering I'm also the world's most laughable centrist. But just some context for the listener. The first time I played this game was apparently 7 months ago.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Which means that we have been trying to achieve this like really deep, immersive narrative. How many episodes are we now? Whatever number of this episode's in.
It's like what, 17 hours over 7 months.
Yeah.
God, being an adult sucks. It's just the worst.
Could you? It's just because that's not how the game is designed to be played, is it? It's just...
I mean, like 7 months. We've been averaging about 1 and a bit every month, which is still not great, but like it's kind of.
We were asking Ollie more about Ollie's experience.
Yes,
in the game.
I've more or less exhausted it. I'll be honest with you.
I was wondering actually if you'd effectively completed the game, 3 months ago, and it's been biding your time.
It's not exactly that, but it's not far off that.
It's like, so I mean, go find the Wumpty Dumpty Dum film.
So okay, so for context for this one, because I've been streaming ahead with a lot of it, and kind of I know where the routes are and what to do and where to go and etc. and I'm kind of not as invested in the side plots and things like this as I usually am.
Yeah.
At the beginning of this playthrough, I went and made some pasta and had dinner.
Oh my god!
And still almost completed the game. Still almost completed the bit that means I can complete the game.
This is going to be turned into a new version of MasterChef, where Dev and I play the game, and you have to go and cook a meal in an hour and come back to us and tell us what you made.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Make a Revacholian worthy meal.
Oh, I could do that. I have a Hungarian friend who taught me how to make goulash.
Oh wow,
wonderful.
Nice. Do you have the? I can't remember what it's called. There's a pasta potato based pasta, I guess, that you make with it, and it's delicious. I can't remember what it's called.
Yes. Okay. Dumplings.
It's not just dumplings. It's...
All right.
Should we wrap up? I feel like we're drifting off topic.
We're getting there. We're drifting into strange territories.
Yeah. So, how are we all feeling with Disco Elysium? Like Ollie, you're nearly finished. You're kind of at the point where you can complete the game. James, how are you feeling?
Oh, I have no idea how close I am to completing the game.
Well, just in terms of like, where does it feel like how far along do you feel you are?
The thought occurred to me today to worry. Oh no, what if I lose the game because I don't complete it in time? Because I'm in the middle of I'm towards the late afternoon or early evening of day 3 of. I don't know where you are, Dev.
I think I'm about 5:00 on Wednesday. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm about 6-7 o'clock on Wednesday. I've still no idea. It's nice that things are coming together and I found this and I found this. Oh, and this cryptozoologist, I found him. And this is the top left-hand corner of the map. Cool. I'm beginning to create boundaries past which kind of metagaming I cannot go. Great. So I know that there is completion to be had, but I don't know where I am along with it.
It feels like I mean, for me, stuff is happening, which is very exciting. Like plot is opening up, and I'm there's a few kind of timed based quests that I'm like, okay, well, I can almost do these as well, like the smoker on the balcony. That I need to go and speak to, and I'm looking for it's interesting because. Now, with this next bit of plot, it definitely feels like another layer has been peeled off. Okay. Because it turns out, basically, just without giving too much away, a lot of stuff that you thought about what had happened and what the people involved are like and what they're involved with and who they are, layer gets peeled off, and it's like, oh no, we were wrong about that, or it's more complicated than that. So it feels like a proper chunky mystery and there's also lots of little details that you notice and you pick up on and you're like, okay, I don't know what that is yet, but that seems like something, which is really interesting and really, really cool. And yeah, I'm definitely this is the first time we've finished a session and I've kind of been like, I want to keep playing,
Oh wow.
I don't think that's not happened until today.
Oh wow. Groovy.
Have you hated it that much?
No, it's more that
no.
It's more that in previous times when it's got to the end of a session, I've been at a good point to be like, yeah, I could stop now. Whereas this time it's like, no, I want to keep going. Stuff's happening. Yeah. Okay. Shall we wrap it up there? Shall we call it a day?
Groovy.
The sun setting once
Hold
again.
on, we need a something big I can edit up onto. Anyone got any raucous accusations?
I called I ended up calling my room Disco Infernum.
What? What is James, have a go.
So, just on the book that you posted earlier, that where they've said, "Oh, that's only."
There's no time. Three detectives in a trench coat. Three detectives in a trench coat.
Thank you for listening to Three Detectives in a Trench Coat. The three detectives are James Curtis, Oliver Morris, and Amber Devereaux. The podcast is edited by Oliver Morris and Amber Devereaux with original music by Oliver Morris. To find out more about the detectives and some of their previous casework, check the show notes.
Thank you for listening. Love you. Bye.